Gemini Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Welcome to your 7-card draw. What do I need read for this full moon to new moon, February into March 2022? I am your reader. Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of DrawingTheCircle production since 1998, author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, available on Kindle, link in the description box, and now on Patreon. Patreon.com/DrawingTheCircle, because I'm the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons, but you can call me Mal. Hi. Hey, my gems, you're so outrageous. You're truly, truly, truly outrageous. Let's get up in this gig. If you're new to the channel, a 7-card draw is just one card from 7 different decks, getting you clues, tips, and hints about a specific astrological timeline, in this case, a 2-week astrological timeline. From the full moon to the new moon, a waning phase, right? Shrink it down, let it go, do the alchemy, the shadow work, hence a shadow read. There is a link in the description box for a movie called The Shadow Effect featuring Debbie Ford. It's on YouTube. A really good introduction to both the psychological as well as the spiritual aspects of shadow work. I highly recommend it. So go check that out. It'll explain this a little bit more if it's your first time, and certainly timing that with the waning moon cycle is pretty powerful. So let's look at that. The full moon in Leo goes void, of course, at the exact same moment it goes void. We had a bunch of those last year. I thought we were through it. We're not. But that does go down on Wednesday, February 16th, 11:56 a.m. So before that, you can do your waxing full moon stuff. You're good. But then we're looking at, again, the waning moon to the new moon in Pisces, Wednesday, March 2nd, 7:52 p.m. So we're going to be going through a little bit of a dark moon in Aquarius and maybe even a little bit of dark moon in Pisces before that. So it could get a little intense towards the end there. The 3 days before new moon is dark moon, so that's when it tends to hit the fan and come up, as it were. So my cats are starting to swarm. Boys, go lay down. All 3 of them. Well, I've got the windows open. It's 50 degrees today in New York at the time of this recording. February 10th, I'm doing this. So my boys are a little on the frisky side and good. They're breathing in through the open windows. It's a good thing. And doing this, by the way, Gemini's on a Gemini moon. So there we go. So let's have at it. It is a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other sides, because we've got more than one situation going on that we need to do shadow work on, I'm sure. Other than that, both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. I will do the same to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace that I can to help you through this and get you the clues, tips, and hints. Helpful. Breathe. Truly helpful, let's hope. And here we go. We are going to start with the Caroline Myss archetype deck to get you the 8th chakra dynamic, the soul power. This is the indication of the shadow work involved. One more breath. As I call upon the collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters, general assembly, the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, the spirit animals and totems, as well as the pantheon of all the pantheons. What is the dominant 8th chakra archetype in need of shadow work, from pain to peace, toxic to healthy, shadow to light, lead to gold, for the Gemini Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this reading for this full moon to new moon, February into March 2022. The hedonist. Ooh. That came out of nowhere, sorta. I have the hedonist archetype lifelong. You can have an archetype, a reason, a season, or a lifetime. It's always been there with me in one way, shape, or form. But of course, like any archetype, the shadow is wicked. It's wicked toxic there. And the light is completely genius and brilliant. This is a wild card family, archetype 9 families. It is the last one. It does so. This could show up in any way, shape, or form as a wild card would. The shadow attribute pursues pleasure to the detriment of health, the 80s. Go look at my community tab. I posted a picture of myself back from the 80s with my mom today for Throwback Thursday. Indulges at the expense of others. Guilty. Did it. But the light attribute inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrates the beauty in yourself. Yes, which work. That is what I do now. That is, I'm celebrating my life as best I can, pandemic and all, working from home, living alone, making the best of it. It's not party, carambo, fiesta forever. No. It's here and there. I mark it where I can, but celebrating the beauty in myself, not just the look. The look goes as follows, but my own value, right? My own inner beauty. So this is beautiful. What a wonderful card if you can do the alchemy, and it is shadow work required to get from lead to gold. So, Daughters of the Moon Tarot. We're going to look on the inside. Next 4 chakras down. The crown, the third eye, the throat, the heart. Your internal world, your feminine energy, your yin dynamic, whatever you want to call it. Please take a nice deep breath. Tingle, 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 tingle as I call upon my goddesses of air, the sign of Gemini. Powers of the East. Please, 1 card in clarity for the Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, the mutable air of it all for them. What's going on? Heart, throat, third eye, crown, where the shadow work doth go down for that hedonist archetype. There's nothing wrong with wanting what you want, but it's the power of lead or gold, villain or hero. Where are you on that spectrum here? Give us a little clue. Leave the card in my hand for the Geminis. This full to new. The Star. Oh, your wishes, your hopes, your guidance, your grace. The Star for me, I say it every time, and I will say it every time, is the highest vibrational spiritual card in the entire tarot. Because though the moon is here and the sun is here, the Star is way, 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 way up there, much higher. Right? So this is about tuning into your guidance, your grace, your inspiration. There's certainly an Aquarian vibe here. Right, the goddess pouring down from a breast urn. That's what it's called in anthropological, whatever, archaeological, whatever. So this really sending down of the guidance and grace, and to get that the things that you really, really want. When it's a major arcana card, it's all 4 chakras in this position in a 7-card draw. It is about being lit. Right? It is about being the star, allowing the star to guide you, but you can wish on a star as much as you want. You'll still get beaten by the people who did the hard work. It's a Terry Pratchettism. Definitely paraphrase there. So, you gotta do the inner work, but the guidance and the grace is there. The inspiration, the information. Dig. Is groove in the heart? I think it is. Ooh, it was a good one. We're having fun. You got a fun shadow read, but we're only 2 cards in out of 7. Let's see what hits the table. The external here now, the masculine energy, the lower 3 chakras, right? Outside looking in at you, the inside looking out at something. Sometimes it's both of those things. Usually it's both of those things holographically linked. Oh, I thought that was a car beeping outside. It's my wind chimes, because the windows are open, I can hear them. Gemini vibe, hi Hermes. As well as the lower 3 chakras are about your relationships. So think root chakra, your connections with groups and circles of people, and your politics, and your ball team, and your favorite band. Fleetwood, I'm part of the Fleetwood Mac tribe, great. I'm part of the Bad Reputation Nation, thank you Joan Jett, right? Your second chakra, one-on-one relationships with other individuals, but also other things like money, which is one energy field, right? It could be that. And your solar plexus, your relationship to yourself, your honor code, your self-esteem, your survival intuition that's just for you in the solar plexus. No one else is necessarily going to be able to validate that for you. So let's see what hits the table. Yeah, your honor code, what you will, what you won't, what you do, what you don't, your boundaries. Breathe. And since I already spoke his name, I call to my gods of air, the sign of Gemini powers of the East, my beloved Hermes. Should you so choose to participate, as you always do, please, one card, isn't that right? Hey, baby. One card in clarity for the Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, watching this video, receiving this reading. Please, what's the piece of guidance and grace using the mythic tarot for the masculine energy, their yang force? Clarify this. Give them some specifics here. That hedonist in the 8th with the star on the inner. What do they got going on the outer, right? The guidance is there. The alignment is there if they want it. But from the outer, they got the 3 of Cups. A celebration, a joining together. Now, in this deck, the Mythic Tarot, the Suit of Cups is the myth of Eros and Psyche. At this point, they are married, but she has not seen his face. Because he wants her to love him for him, not just because everybody who looks at him falls in love with it. I mean, think about that, right? So it is a 3. It's an initial foundation that can be built upon, an emotional bond, not just the 2 of Cups, the attraction. This is, okay, let's see, let's do this. We're in it now. We've got a foundation. There's an emotional bond here. This can also very much speak, okay, of intuition, right? Of really, really, really feeling out the room, of feeling your way through this and feeling good. Like, I don't get a bad vibe from this, and particularly with a hedonist. Come on. In the Daughters of the Moon, the 3 of Cups, they reference in the book, Girl Scouts make new friends, keep the old, one is silver, the other gold. So this can be very friendly. This is like a party read. I mean, anybody would say, oh gee, the hedonist with the 3 of Cups, party, carambo, fiesta, but we'll see about forever. But so far, this is looking really good. It's just like the new moon reads were all like dark. These have been like really, really good, although that Taurus read was a bit much, it just did. So, the higher selves of all involved. We're using the Whispers of Love Oracle. Not just you, but obviously there are some other people involved here. So this is the higher selves of all involved. Please take a nice deep breath. And there are no real womp-womp cards in the Whispers of Love, so as I call to the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, what is the Whisper of Love, the piece of information, inspiration, insight most needed for the Gemini collective and cross-watchers too. All my readings are good for cross-watchers. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. What do you got for the gems and their cross-watchers? Alchemizing the hedonist with the star and the 3 cups. What do you got for them this full to new? Ask for help. Ask for help. What is it you truly need help with? Be willing to allow yourself the support you need. And I'm going to say, with this on the inner, the star, this might be an internal thing you do in asking for help. Because honestly, 3 cups on the outer does not feel like anything's necessarily strenuous there. Maybe there is an emotional bond where you can ask somebody for help and feel the safety and the vulnerability to do that. Or maybe you're asking for help in a 3 of Cups situation. Try and follow your own guidance and grace. Interesting. So, I skipped one. I totally skipped one. I went right to the Whispers of Love, and I forgot probably the most important card for a Gemini, the Healing Mantra, the first of our 3 bookie book reads. But asking for help, you know, I've learned that in divination, once you say the prayer, it goes how it's supposed to go. So, let's get you the Healing Mantra here. Really helpful in shadow work to have a focal point, particularly for a mutable air sign. Please take a nice deep breath. All right, I'll include that, absolutely, as I call upon the Ascended Masters of the General Assembly, although soul contracts could very easily be involved here in some way, shape, or form. What is the perfect healing mantra for the Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading from the Matt Kahn Healing Mantra deck to help them do the shadow work with the Hedonist, with the star on the inner, 3 of Cups, asking for help. Say the higher selves of all involved. Maybe someone's asking them for help. What's the perfect healing mantra to help them do this? This full to new, Feb, March 22. Growing beyond guilt. Just gonna say, Aries had this reading, just did it yesterday. Growing beyond guilt. People could say, you talk too much and you take too long to shuffle. Well, tough, because that's how I know when I see a repeat that I did the prayer and I cleared the cards. They're all resting on selenite, by the way, except for the Whispers of Love, which is on a big slab of rose quartz, right? So, you know, asking for help to grow beyond guilt is certainly a thing. But let me read it from the bookie book. This is genius. It couldn't have happened any other way, is the mantra. Couldn't have happened any other way. It couldn't have happened any other way. And there are quantum reasons for that, past life reasons, soul journey reasons for that. But he covers that here. Please take a nice deep breath. Couldn't happen any other way. When you grow beyond guilt, there is a heartfelt acceptance that any sequence of events unfolds in a perfect flow that is organized and expressed by the universe. In other words, you're not in charge of that. Sorry, none of us are. This takes the pressure of control off your shoulders so you can enjoy the way in which life has come to be. Even when it sucks, the hedonist can still celebrate the beauty, the symbolic beauty. Okay, I'm getting some lessons here. It may suck right now, but you know what? Good times and bum times, I've seen them all, and my dear, we're still here. Elaine stretched. Since everything is destined to change, well, hello, everything is destined to change and can only change you for the better from the soul's point of view. Growing beyond guilt enables you to see how exquisitely the gift of life unfolds. And asking for help is just part of that. It just is. Help me see this. Help me grow beyond guilt. Show me how it couldn't have happened any other way. And you know when we usually see that? Pardon the cough. The choice to see this is in the hidden blessing, the last card down, right? So ask for it, because there is gold within that lead, right? Lead has 3 more atoms than gold. So you transform it, and there is something hidden. There is something of high value within this. So to ask for help for doing that, I mean, I don't know anybody who didn't have to ask for help. And those who say they never ask for help, I'll be here behind the splash guard eating popcorn, right? This mantra is ideal for releasing the past, unhooking from karmic patterns, and forgiving yourself. Couldn't happen any other way. Considering the pain that ourselves and or others, this could totally be about other people, couldn't happen any other way. But if you really want that for yourself, eventually you got to extend it to others. Couldn't happen any other way. I don't know their pain. I don't know what their childhood were like. Even if I grew up with them, I don't know what's going on inside of them, right? Couldn't happen any other way. We are all subject to our conditioning until we undo it. And that's not a weekend workshop. That's a lifelong process. And shadow work is part of that. Bookie book drop. Let's keep going. 2 more cards left, both bookie book reads. Oh, I did all 3 bookie books at once. Guys, I'm going to switch the order. I can. Yeah, we'll leave it as is. The Divine Animals Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. If you're going to do the shadow work, know who your spirit animals and totems are on the journey. Please take a nice deep breath. As I call on the spirit animals and totems for the Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, watching this video, receiving this reading. Please, who walks with them, who flies with them, who swims with them, who crawls with them, helping them through this shadow work as guardian and guide. with this hedonist archetype in transition from lead to gold with the star in the inner. I mean, they're lit, like they are lined up. High vibe there for a lot of them, if not all of them. But that Three of Cups on the inner, there's definitely a feeling of celebration. But if it couldn't happen any other way, growing beyond guilt, that might be part of that, right? Like even a circle of friends being like, you know what? We fucked up. We all do. I love you. It couldn't happen any other way, right? Misunderstandings, right? We're stepping on somebody's hidden landmine called triggering them, right? Couldn't happen any other way. Maybe someone's triggering you, and it's a good friend. You weren't expecting it. Couldn't happen any other way. So to ask for help here, even the help of spirit, and maybe even their spirit animals and totems. Please, what's the divine oracle, divine animal oracle message for the Geminis this full to new? The seahorse equality. Ooh, seahorse. Who you calling a seahorse? Let's, you see how, yeah, number 14, equality. Equality. There's a lot in this little very powerful bookie book here. Come on. So I'm just going to read you the first part, what I call the verbal sketch, right? It kind of tells you what it's about, and the magic at the end of the little section here. Breathe. Card number 14, Seahorse. Got some serious Namor energy going on there. Equality. Seek equality in relationships, in particular intimate ones. Well, I think that's an indication with the hedonist. This could be an intimate relationship. You will attract what you resonate. You can decide your future. Hiding from our fears is rarely a good strategy. Shadow work, anyone? It is time to ensure that the domestic and emotional labor in your world is shared equally. Well, that's interesting. And I could see that with other people. This is definitely a soul contract-based read, but it's probably with more than one person. Could be with another person, though. The magic. Like most ocean-based elemental magic, the keys here are flow and fluidity, which we have an element of water here in the star. Like I said, her pouring down, and with the Three of Cups. So even on the outer, that Three of Cups is like, go with the flow. A nice emotional foundation. Go with flow and fluidity. However, seahorse magic can best be utilized around issues of equality. If you want to be seen as an equal, or you are being discriminated against in sex, race, or status, you can ask for the help of seahorse energy to receive balance and justice. And I get the equality thing, because the male seahorse like nurses the eggs or something like that. My mom was a nursery school teacher. I know this stuff. It's back there, but I'm 53. I don't look at things. It's a long time ago. That's 50 years ago. Right? I know all sorts of that stuff in the subconscious. So, the equality here in a relationship, but then again, you got to look at the hedonist as like, is everybody on board, right? Is everybody in it for a good time? Or are some people in it to win it, right? Is it, power over rather than power shared? Ooh, that was good. I know that meant something for somebody out there. That just said that in a really long time. So what's the hidden blessing? Let's find out. Let's get ready to bless this thing with the Blessed Be, the mystical Celtic blessing cards to enrich and empower, because as I said, in the lead is the gold, but you got to do the shadow work, right? We often see it. Sometimes years later, we look back, oh, it couldn't happen any other way. Oh, I got wisdom out of this. From the toxic experience, I healed and I got wisdom. And I transformed myself as a result. So let's see what that is. The pantheon of all pantheons. Please take a nice deep breath. As I call upon the pantheons of all traditions, cultures, lineages. One card in clarity for the Gemini collective sun, moon, rising, Venus, sun watching this video. Receiving this reading. What is the hidden blessing that they may find if they do the shadow work and they really give it their best here? Particularly, they can enjoy themselves. inspiring creative energy to embrace the good things in life, to celebrate the beauty in themselves and usually then in others, which can be tricky. With this alignment of the star being lit, not just a heart's desire, a heart, throat, third eye, crown alignment desire there, the guidance, the grace, the creative intuition fully engaged there. With that 3 of Cups on the outer, it does feel friendly, it does feel fun, and it could be a little spicy. This is, after all, the wedding of Eros and Psyche that we're looking at here. But the mantra that it couldn't have happened any other way, growing beyond guilt, there's definitely some lead in this formula that needs to be alchemized. And that growing beyond guilt, they need to ask for help. Because what is it that they really need help with? Are they willing to allow themselves the support that they need to do what needs to be done with equality? That seahorse energy, that seahorse magic, yes, go with the flow, and there's certainly water here on the table, but that it needs to be done in equal ways, and to call upon that magic to help them with that. Considering all of that, what is the hidden blessing? Pantheons of all pantheons. They can see as a result of the shadow work for this full moon to new moon, February into March 2022. A blessing of forgiveness. I love it when it clonks, chonks together. Chonk, 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 chonk. Absolutely. You always, don't try and do forgiveness by yourself. Call upon something higher. It's the point. Let me not decide for myself. Oh, please. I'm a student and a teacher of Course in Miracles. Yeah, go check out my stuff on Vimeo. Go check out some of my stuff on YouTube. Talking about Course in Miracles. Card number 31, a blessing of forgiveness. And it's a redhead with an owl. So, you know redheads? Well, I always did like changes. Right? A little fire-headed, a little row. Well, you're not row, but Phoenix energy. Certainly a little Jean Grey action going on there. But with that owl, that wisdom to see things differently. Hold on. Card number 31, a blessing of forgiveness. Everybody needs this. And honestly, Course in Miracles talks about shadow work, but it doesn't call it shadow work. It calls it miracle work. Because it's a change, it's a shift in consciousness, an alchemy from illusion to truth, fear to love, pain to peace. It's all the same thing, folks. You just pick your lenses you want to learn through, but learn we will. Come hell or high water, breathe. We do the blessings for realsies here, particularly when forgiveness is involved. Hardest thing to do sometimes. A blessing of forgiveness. Card number 51. A blessing to be able to be free of the burden of grudge and vengeance. A prayer to help you open up to the blessing that is forgiveness. Forgiveness is a tricky beast. And yes, for all it is a gentle word, it is a great beast. Forgiveness. For when we seek to forgive, we must wrestle with the wrongdoing that lies at the heart of our resistance to let go of the pain we are holding on to. Work. When we need to forgive, it is often that we are too raw, too far away from justice to be able to even touch the sides of the balm of forgiveness. Equality. This could have a social justice thing, racial justice thing. This could have all sorts of stuff woven in. Do you see the quantum? How what you're going through, everyone on earth is going through in some way. Yet staying angry for long periods of time can develop into compacted bitterness. So not just your average everyday luxury bitterness, compacted bitterness, a bitter little pill. And a bitterness, and bitterness is a gall to all who wish to live freely. It just is. It's walking around in chains of pain. It is a struggle to forgive when we are in the midst of the fallout of another person's actions. There is a great deal of victim blaming within our cultures. But in older times, In the Celtic world, there was restorative justice, and it would have gone a long way to forgiveness. In the Old Testament worldview, which has influenced our legal systems and our cultural ways of addressing wrongs, well, we're going there, punitive justice is the main form, and forgiveness comes about usually after a wrong is righted. But what can we do when the wrong is still very much alive? And to forgive another seems to be diminishing their harm and their potential to harm others. Justice and forgiveness must work hand in hand. And in this blessing, they will now begin to entwine, so that while you begin to forgive first yourself for whatever wrong was done to you, there is often an element of self-blame. There was once another way to resolve what was taken through right action, and thus the path to forgiveness was free from vengeance. In numerous New Age philosophies, responsibility is appointed to the individual who is suffering time and again. How did you attract that? Oh, I'm going to throw up in my blessed mouth. How did you attract that is asked. And this is wrong and damaging, and in some cases, cruel and unethical. You will never hear that come out of my mouth. It came out of my mouth a while ago until I wised the fuck up. First, know that whatever wrong was done to you, it is not your fault, and begin the work of forgiving yourself. Here we go. Is there a page 3? There's a page 3. Blessed be. Here we go. Breathe. May the blessing of this self-forgiveness be bestowed upon you now, dear friend. Know you will gently untangle the doubt and recrimination that have settled like thorns about your heart and invaded your mind's peace. And as you begin to forgive yourself, you will also begin to find forgiveness for the injustices you have endured. For in that forgiveness and acceptance and ability to know clearly that wrongdoing was done, you will begin to return to yourself. You will be wiser, yet unpoisoned. Slowly, may the pain and the bitter buds wither. Thank you, Melchior. And in their place, may you be reborn, honestly able to remember, wiser, in order to prevent this event from taking place again and be able to recall without pain. I don't see how you do that without shadow work. And the justice that the universe will deliver to you will be restorative, bringing back to you threefold what was taken by another. May you be free of the pain at last, and let the anger burn down into coals from which you, phoenix-like Jean Grey, can arise and know that you have forgiven the other for their dark gift. Oh, Anne Rice. And forgiven life, and most of all, delivered the pure medicine of forgiveness to yourself for the well-being of all, with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. So mote it be, and so it is. And a thought shared is a thought strengthened, and I highly recommend checking out A Course in Miracles. And why shouldn't you? Your hedonistic vibe here is at play, and of course with that guidance and that grace of the star. And this is an emotional situation, but there is love here. It's a solid foundation, and growing beyond guilt couldn't happen any other way. You don't know everybody's story, you barely know your own. barely know your own, right? Of what our pain is, what's going on in the sub and the unconscious, no idea. And that's why I ask for help to the divine, to a counselor, to a friend, to say, look, I want to work this out. Can you help me work this out? Because we have to do this. There's been inequality somewhere here in some way, shape, or form. So by all means, all of this leads to a blessing of forgiveness, but you got to do the shadow work. And like it said, you don't have to avoid your pain. You don't have to blame yourself. You don't have to, why did I create that? I guess I didn't use the right glue stick on my vision board. That shit. No, you do you. You be authentic. You feel what you have to feel, but certainly for a 2-week period, the healing, the growth, the power, the wisdom you could get from this is immense. So did you like the video? Hit the thumbs up. Help other Geminis find it. Why wouldn't you? Everybody needs to be doing this work in some way, shape, or form, and you don't got to be telling people about it. Except you're a Gemini. You probably will, right? And if you want more of me here on YouTube, subscribe and hit that notification bell, because I'm an artist. I'm a mystical artist. I'm putting these things out when they are ready to be born. Could be 3 a.m. You don't know. I'm like that. I roll like that. I'm self-employed and I work from home. And certainly, if you want to come Patreon on Patreon. Patreon.com/DrawingTheCircle. It'll be my honor, my pleasure to serve you there as well. And I stream every single morning talking about the day's lunar astrology and what's going on in the world sometimes. Usually in my bathrobe with a cup of coffee with purple hair. It's worth subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, and seriously, I love you all so very, very much. Wishing you the very best and the very blessed, my outrageous, my truly outrageous, my truly, truly, truly outrageous gems. Hail. Farewell, and blessed, blessed be.